invisible YouTube friends. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley and I'm the Bookish Stitcher. If you are new, welcome. Hey, howdy, hi. Just wanted to do another sit and stitch with me. So go ahead and grab your project, grab something to drink and get cozy, and we will get started. Alright, so today I wanted to work on the 8-cat piece. I hadn't worked on this since I filmed my video and I feel so guilty for them. So here's my canvas. This kit I got from Joy Sunday. It's a 14 count. So I'm going to be working on Maggie today. That's this freakish looking cat in the center. They always just look so weird when you're putting in the color and it's not done yet. But first I want to start in with this turquoise section here. That's that's color number 10 in the kit, and the DMC color is 676. All right. So this is one of the pieces that I am taking with me when I go on vacation this week. Leave on Monday. I'm filming this again on Friday night. So I'm hoping to get a good amount of work on this one while I'm gone. So we'll see. It's one of those weird things where you never know how much time you're actually gonna have to dedicate to stitch. So I'm like, I kept arguing with myself, like, how many kits do I bring? I'm still not sure if it's the right decision, but I'm sticking with just the 3 in my go bag. Obviously I'm not going to finish the rest of this in a week, plus the other ones that I'm working on, but I also just didn't want to get bored, and then honestly, in 3 different kits, I shouldn't get bored. But I also can pick up my reading again. I wanted to talk a little bit about that in this video. It's my current status of reading. I loved reading. I still love reading. I don't know why I used the past tense there, but reading is one of those things that I did a lot all the time. I did it a lot as a kid. I've done it a lot as an adult, and I feel like being an only child and suffering from anxiety and depressive issues even from that young age, I was more likely to be a compulsive reader because it's just so easy to escape into a book. So it's definitely prone to living a bookish lifestyle. And so, you know, my mom always made sure that I had books in the house. She bought me books out of the Scholastic reader catalogs. She'd get me books for my birthday and for Christmas. But I always read the books faster than I got them, and I wasn't always very smart with it. So, like, obviously during the school year, you can go to the school library and they have all sorts of great books. So I'd read the books that I got at the school library, and I'd read the books that I got as I got them from my mother and my father. I have one of each. But then the summer would come and I wouldn't have anything to read. And I remember when I was in first grade, my first grade teacher told us, don't forget to read over the summer, because otherwise you will forget how. So little anxious 6-year-old Haley went home and demanded books to read. We had a public library, but it didn't really have a kids section at all then. And we had this little bookstore in the next town over that my mom's friend called the Book Church. And it was just funny because it wasn't really a chain bookstore, but it was a small chain. They don't exist anymore, but you just walk in and there's just this silence. Like, the books were waiting for you. And I don't know, I've always loved bookstores. It's always felt like that, right? Like the books are just there. They're waiting for you. And it feels like a little bit of magic. And, you know, I'll go to some of the bigger bookstores that have the coffee shops in them, but they're not the same. There's too many people there, right? Like, you can't hear the books. Wait. So anyway, that's really like a combination of, I already liked reading, and the genuine fear of a 6-year-old who didn't want to go back and not remember how to read kind of just mixed together into fuel this person who I read a lot. And I continued to read a lot, and then as I grew up and I got my own job, I had a disposable income and I could buy my own books. It's like, it just completely snowballed from there. I have over 1,000 books now. I've read most of them, at least once. I don't ever get rid of my books. I think it wouldn't be fair to them. You know, I like to pick up a book and feel the memory of when I bought it or when I read it. They're just like, I don't know, I think of them as like little photographs or little pieces of memory. But again, there I am getting all poetic about the books. So anyway, much like with my cross-stitch kits, I know that I have, and I've been told that I have, far too many to finish in my lifetime. So, me being me has this drive to prove everybody wrong. So, need to stay motivated so that I can get a lot of my stitching done. I have no doubt that I could probably read all the books that I have if I got back into reading. That's not a concern of mine. Cross-stitch kits, however, are quite a bit more of a concern, just based off the fact that they take a lot longer to read than a book. I'm not a particularly fast stitcher, and I'm not into stitching for the speed. And I don't want it to feel like a chore. I don't want it to feel like, oh my god, I have to get this done, or I'm never gonna prove my mother wrong. Never gonna prove her wrong that I will get all these stitching kits done, because the sad and honest truth of it is my mom will be dead before I finish all my cross-stitch kits, so she won't even be there for me to go up to. I'm sorry, that was really dark. I do have a tendency to turn to dark humor in times of everything. That's how my family copes with loss or grief or pain or illness, and just life is, we go with the dark humor. It's one of those things that sometimes it just feels better to laugh about it, even if it's inappropriate to do at the time. So that's what I do. That's what we all do. Again, right, wrong, or other. Got my filter. Always better to laugh about it. But anyway, trying to finish cross-stitch kits. Still trying to collect cross-stitch kits. I'm trying to figure out where I want to start here. Let's start back up here. There's definitely... I like to... Ooh. I clearly want to test my limits, my ability to cross-stitch everything I own before I die, because I want to get the Ambulite. It's a cross-stitch kit. I know it's from Maydeer. I'm pretty sure that might be the only place. Honestly, I don't know, but it's massive. There's like 109 different colors in it, and it's beautiful, and I want it. The thing's probably at least 5 feet long, if it's an inch. So I promised myself that I'd get it for myself when I get my next bonus check at work, which, fingers crossed, will be next month. It's not expensive. It's like $36, I think, which is basically a steal for a kit that big. Like, that wouldn't cover the cost of the thread. I just want it. And at this point, I'm kind of like, I'm just collecting cross-stitch kits now. Just collecting the kits. They might be worth something someday. But I would love to finish that sucker, hang it on my wall, and be like, yep, this is what I worked 5 years on. It'd take at least that long, at least. I don't know if you can hear him upstairs, but Wyatt went to bed early tonight, so our bedroom is right above me right now. It's kind of weird. I'm down in the basement alone, and I'm never in the basement alone. Like, my office is down here, and my craft space is down here, but I didn't even bring the cats down with me today. Our basement, we can't get to it through our house. We have to go through our attached garage. And Coolidge and Cecil are really, well, Coolidge is very good about running out of the house and waiting at the door for me to go and open to him so he can go into the basement. Cecil was pretty good for a while, and now all he wants to do is run underneath the car. So he comes back eventually, and I could carry him back upstairs, but dude, this cat is a tank. Like, he is a muscular little tank of a man, and I can't hold him with one arm anymore, and I can't open a door with no hands, so I can't just carry him back upstairs. So I'm like, your dad's going to bed early, you guys can't come down. Mommy can't fight with you to come back inside in the dark. I mean, we have lights, but it's you know, because if we leave the door to the house open to try and get Cecil in after he's under the car, then a couple of the other cats will run out, and it's just not worth it. But it is definitely really weird being down here alone, and it's quiet because it's late at night and there's no traffic out on the road. I don't like it. It's okay, because I have all of my invisible friends to chat with. I have learned, because I've done a few of these now, that I need to make sure that I have something for myself to drink while I'm doing these, because it's thirsty business talking to you guys for half hour, 45 minutes. So next time, this is, like I said, I'm doing 2 tonight. I did the last one, which you probably watched yesterday if you're watching them in order, and now this one. So tomorrow when I film the next batch, I'm gonna make sure I have water handy. I don't know. Definitely the learning process has been fun on this little endeavor that I have started on. So I thank you all for watching, and again, all of your kind words and your acceptance. It really does mean a lot to me. And I hope that you follow me or comment here and let me know what's going on with you guys. How's stuff going? What are you stitching on? How's your cat? What's your cat's name? What's your favorite color? I like to know the basics about people, right? What's your cat's name and what's your favorite color? Very important details when you're making new friends. Almost done with this guy. But back to books. I got sidetracked there. I was reading a lot last year. I wasn't stitching at that point, so I was reading a lot of books, and I was reading a lot of, I picked some good books last year to read, and it was December, and I kind of decided I'm going to read some of these lighter, fluffier, sort of romantic, contemporary romances, and I read a few and they were okay, right? Like, I wasn't expecting great literature. It's just one of those things that, like, sometimes I just like to turn on the TV and watch 90 Day Fiance. And when I say sometimes, I mean basically every day. But sometimes you just want to read things that are kind of, like, I call them cringy. You know, you're reading them or you're watching them and it just makes you go like, oh, that's so awkward, that's so uncomfortable. Just kind of makes it seem human. Like the experience is more human. But I ended up reading this book that broke me at the end of December. I have it on a shelf over here. I'm gonna grab it real quick because I'll show you what I do. Please hold. So I'm not sure if contemporary romance is any of your guys' jam, but this is the best book I've read in a long time. It is, I annotate my books. I like to copy down or underline things that really speak to me when I'm reading it. But it's about Chloe, who suffers from a chronic illness, and this guy that she meets that has like PTSD from a previous relationship. It's just like this beautiful story of them getting to know each other and falling in love. And I physically cried reading this book. Like, I don't cry often during a book, but I sobbed for like a good chunk of the end of this book. Don't tell my boss, but I ended up having to call out sick because of this book. I did. God. I really regret that today in real life. Most of the day I said, hey, I made a YouTube channel. You wanna listen to me talk about my cats? Come on in. And then in a later video, I'm like, I called out sick because I was ruined by a book. Oh man, I'm regretting my choices. Anyway, let me finish up this last strand. This is going to be the purple circles here. It's kit number 16, and the DMC number is 844. But yeah, that book broke me, and it's part of a trilogy, and it follows the 3 Brown sisters. And they said that the next book in the series is even better and also worse. I think it's even more emotional. And I'm just broken already just thinking about it. So I haven't read it. I only have started one book since then in January. In February I started it. And I'm still not done with it. I know this book isn't going to hit me the way that Chloe Brown did, and that's fine. Like, it doesn't have to. But I'm also kind of like, I read it because it was something completely different. It's a fantasy book. Alright, so I picked it because it was so drastically different, and it's not hitting me. And I don't like to not finish books, because this is a good book. It's just not the right book at the right time, I guess. But I don't want to stop it. Like, my goal was to try and get it finished before I went on vacation, so that way I could start with new books when I did get on vacation. But I've got at least another 200 pages in the book I'm reading, and a long list of things I have to do. So reading that book, I guess it's just gonna have to come with me. I don't like bringing started books on vacation with me, and I don't like bringing new books when I haven't finished a book I have at home. I have a lot of imaginary rules for myself. I must have order in my life. I like this color of gray. No, my favorite color actually is gray, but when I tell people, they're like, gray's not a color. So then I just tell them it's green. I know, like, you can make the argument that gray isn't a color, it's a shade. And that's all fine and dandy, but does it really have to be something that we argue about? Oh, I should not be going this way. Oh. So anyway, I'm still trying to argue with myself about what books I am bringing on vacation. Generally, I like to theme my books around vacation. So normally I would bring beach reads like mystery thrillers or that kind of thing. Things that I can read quickly. Last year, when I went in the same time, I brought 3 books with me, and I finished them in 3 days, and I had to go and buy more books. The plan was always to go and buy more books, but I specifically had to go and buy more books because I didn't bring enough books with me, so that's always kind of one of those, what happens if I run out of something to read sort of fears. So it's either I'm gonna bring a bunch of mystery thrillers from Sherry Lapine, who is an author I discovered last year, and I call her books like Lifetime movies, but like in a good way. They're all from a woman's point of view, and one of them that I read, I won't tell you which to avoid spoilers if you wanted to read them. It's basically her baby was kidnapped, and it was about them trying to figure out who it was, and it was very much kind of like you had the detective's point of view, who assumed it was the mother. You had the husband's point of view, who assumed it was like his lover, because he was having an affair, and then it turned out to be the father-in-law, and you're like, what? OMG, what's going on? So I gobbled that up. So I have 3 other books from her that I got, just because I read 2 of them already, and I liked them so much. So it's between that and the other 2 books in the Brown Sister series, because at least I'll be around people when I cry, and I won't have to call out from work because of the book. Alright, okay. Here's the deal. I didn't exactly call out of work because of the book. I called out of work because I was already in an emotionally vulnerable state, and I made the bad mistake of reading a book that made me feel worse, and then I couldn't get out of bed. So, just set the record straight, if that did anything. I guess that's the good and bad thing about books, is a good book can make you feel so much better, and a bad book can make you feel so much worse. Technically, a good book can make you feel much worse too, but you know what I mean. I mean, like, good book like happy book, and bad book like sad book. Not like bad like written bad. I actually kind of like badly written books. I find them a lot of fun to read. I like to scoff at things, if that makes sense. Like, oh my god, that's so unbelievable. Who would ever actually say that? And then I keep reading, and you're just like these moments of, how could this get any worse? And you know, hey, that's probably the point. I like to take things at face value a lot. So I like to assume if a book is badly written, it's because it's a bad author. I don't know why. But honestly, if I'm still reading it, then they're clearly actually a very good author. And their point was for me to sit there and read their book and be like, oh my god, what were you thinking? So, oh, I itches. So I'll post for anybody who's interested what books I end up deciding to take with me. Over on my Instagram, I'm gonna do a whole little, like, this is my activities, because I don't know if any of you can kind of relate to this, but I always had an activity bag that I packed whenever I went anywhere as a kid. Like, we're talking, like, since I was in diapers, my mom packed me a bag of stuff. So I always have some books. I used to have, like, coloring pages. Way back when, I always made sure that I brought my CD player, extra CDs, and extra batteries. So now it's cross-stitch kits, books, phone charger, sunglasses. But yeah, it's just all the things that I'm gonna want to do, and the things I need to do what I want to do while I'm on vacation. It's just, I don't know. It's part of one of the things I really enjoy about going on vacation, is planning what I'm gonna do when I'm not doing anything. So, that I think it's a lot of fun. It's part of what I get excited about, because clearly this time I didn't get excited enough about packing to begin with. Now I'll just have to focus on the fact that, well, my cross stitch is packed. It's ready to go. I'm just about done here. So I hope that you guys enjoyed our time together today, and that you got a lot of work done on whatever project that you're working on right now. I'd love to see what everybody's working on. If you want to leave it below in the comments or over on my Instagram, I'm at the Bookish Stitcher, and I'd love to take a look, because I love to get jealous about other people's beautiful pieces. So thank you for all of your time and all of your beautiful words as always, and I hope that you all have a beautiful I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day full of stitching. Bye.